Hello everyone, welcome to Card Design Thursday. So today we have another Christmas card, as I've done all Christmas cards for the month of July. And even though I didn't say it, it's part of my Christmas in July, because I haven't found a whole lot of time to do Christmas in July projects this month. However, I'm excited about this card because it highlights a stamp set that I got from my good buddy G and from Gareth, Created Home of G. And it's this little Christmas set here with the little house and the snow and trees, and it's just very, very cute. So we are going to be doing a card like that, and I've already stamped out most of the things, and I've cut our paper, and we're going to be I'm using craft color card, and this is an A2 size card, which means it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then I cut another mat, which is red, and it's cut just 1/8 of an inch smaller. And then I have two mats here that are cut 1/8 of an inch smaller than that. One is for the top mat and one is for the inside of the card. Okay, and then you're going to need a couple of pieces of paper. I'm just going to use this to stamp out some trees because I want to show you how I did it. And then you need a piece that is the same length as, the width as your card, which is 5 1/2. Not 5 1/2, but I think this is 5 because I cut them 1/8 of an inch smaller. Anyway, it doesn't have to be a certain height, but I'm going to be cutting my snow hills out of this. So let me show you what, and then I've already got all the pieces stamped and fussy cut out except for 3 trees, in which I'm going to be showing you how I did that. And this is the card that we're creating. And I just think this came out so cute. And I haven't put a mat in this one yet. But these are the snow hills that I created. So all this was done with just a stamp set and hands. No dies were used or anything like that. So it's just a very simple card that you can create. It does have stickles on it. But you can use any kind of glitter glue you want, or you can use Wink and Stella if you have that. But they were all colored by hand. I used color pencils, and to be honest with you, I used color pencils from the Crayola. These were not even my best color pencil. These were just Crayola color pencils, and that's all I used. And we're going to use this light colored. Well, I'm going to use another one because that one needs to sharpen, and I don't want to take time to sharpen. I think I'm going to use one of these today. And these are my Faber-Castell pencils. So I'm just going to use that, but you can use anything you have. I am going to use a stamp positioner because it is going to be easier to use one of these for the trees. Now, if you have a steady hand and you can overlay with just a regular stamp, just use a regular stamp block. You don't have to have one of these, but it does make it easier. So the first thing we're going to do is set up our card base. Everything except for the top. We're going to glue our insert in, just our little mat in right here. So we're going to glue that in, and I'm just using my art glitter glue, which you pretty much know I use for everything, just about. There are some things I use tape with, but for the most part, I just love my art glitter glue. And of course, you can get this at maymaymadeit.com. Just going to center this, just eyeballing it, and put the base down. Okay, and then I'm going to adhere our red base, our red mat. And then we're going to work on the top mat off the card. And I'm just going to eyeball that. If I need to shift it around, that's okay. The glue dries clear, and that's the beauty of using liquid glue. Okay, so that's on the card. That's all we're going to do to the card base right now. Then I'm going to open this up And I'm going to stick in my paper, put my magnets on here. Now I'm using 3 different color inks. I am using the Memento Olive Grove. I am using Memento Pistachios. And I'm also using Northern Pine. And then when I stamp these and get them dry, I'm going to be using some white pigment ink. I'm not even sure what this is anymore. I got them from Tuesday Morning last year. And so I decided to start using some of this stuff. And then I'm going to be using a little Brutus Monroe embossing powder. And this is the Icicle Shimmer. So let's get started. So first of all, I'm going to pull my trees stamps out. And I love these trees. I should have had them out. Apologize for not doing so. Okay, so what I'm going to stamp first is the solid. And I'm just going to lay them on my paper. These come in 2 sizes. I mean, they come in 3 sizes, but they also come in solid, and then they come in with the details, and that's what we're going to be doing. Now, I start with the lightest color. You can start with the darkest color. You can start whatever you want to. Move these out of the way. Close my stamp positioner. Pick these up. And we're just going to stamp them. Ink them up. Sorry. Trying to stay in camera here. And then we're just going to stamp those. Okay, and remember, it doesn't have to have a perfect impression. You can go back over it. That's another thing I like about Stamp Positioner. I have a mini Misty, but, you know, I don't know where it is right now. But you can always stamp over and over and over, and the trees will always stay in the same place. Now, I'm going to go with the next color, which is Olive Grove. And I'm just going to put that right on top. I think, you know, and I'm not even being too precise about this because I just want to, you know, a speckle of color on there. But it really provides some depth with the trees. Okay, and then I'm going to go over that with my Northern Pine. And I might come back and just put just a touch of the pistachio back on top. Now you can see here, I don't know if you can see, but I just barely inked this. I left a lot of spots open because I want to pick up some character of the color underneath, and I want to have the darker pine on top. Because, you know, trees aren't all the same colors. And you can see, well, I can see just the little variations. Now I'm going to come back in with a little bit of pistachio and put that on top. Just to lighten everything back up a little bit. And I love the way that comes out. Now, to get the snowy effect, which I didn't do these on the other card. I didn't do both the trees with snow, but I think I'm going to on this one. Let me just put my dies back, my stamps back, because if I don't, I tend to lose them. Now, then you have the kind that has the detail on it. And I really like those a lot. And we're going to go over these with Northern Pine, which is the darkest color. And the thing I like about these, you can line them up and put them right on top of your stamps. Now, there is a little variation with them, but not much, and they really come out nice. So I'm just placing the tip over the tip, and using the Stamp Positioner, I can get pretty much on the mark. Now, if you have a steady hand and you can stamp over these with just a stamp block, you're doing better than I am. But you don't have to have a stamp positioner is what I'm trying to tell you. You don't have to have one. So I'm going to get that where I want it. And hope I don't move it too much. I have a hard time picking up this lid sometimes. Push this down, pick up my stamps. And then I'm going to ink these with the darker color. And this just puts the ridges in it. It doesn't, it's not a full stamp. And see, I'll let you see. It just adds a lot of texture there. And you can see the details in the stamp. Now, we're going to go back and do something a little different. I'm going to make sure this still lines up. And it does. If you always stick them in the corner, they line up pretty well. But I didn't quite align this little one up. So I'm just going to stick it back on and line it back up. And it's okay if I have a little bit hanging off the edge or whatever. I am going to fussy cut these out and you won't even be able to tell it. So I'm just going to pick that back up. Okay, so now here's the fun part. We're going to add some snow. And I'm going to do this by using my white pigment ink. And I'm just going to dab the white right on top of the green ink. And just push down on this. And you get this beautiful little snow texture to the trees. Now, at this point, if you want to take it out while the embossing ink is still wet, you can do that. You can emboss these or whatever. I am not going to emboss these, but I am going to be embossing with the Tim Holtz shimmer powder in just a little bit, but not with this. Okay, I'm just going to wipe my board off here and my stamps. I'm usually always very careful about getting pigment ink off my stamps before it dries because I just like to keep them clean. And I don't want them to stain. A lot of times pigment ink will stain. Now, I know these probably look very difficult to fussy cut. And if you've known me long enough, you know I don't like fussy cutting. Even though every card, sorry for shaking this, I'm on my table. Even though every card I've created just about for Christmas, I have fussy cut. But these are very simple to fussy cut. And it may look like it's difficult, but it's really not. I'm going to cut one with you on camera here. And then I'll do the rest of them off camera. So with the trees, you have all this feathering and stuff on the edges of it. I just take my scissors and I start at the bottom. And then I go up on the side. Now, you know what? The card base is white. If you leave a little bit of white on there, it's not a big deal. Now, when you turn your paper, see, I stick my scissors in and I don't pick them up. I turn my paper. If you see a lot of white over there, you could get a lot closer. And I know it looks scary. You're thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to cut this off. But you really won't. And you just keep turning. Like I can cut a little deeper into that one. Now sometimes you might have to pick your scissors up, especially on these little edges here. But I have found that I can really just turn them really well. And get around the edges. Sometimes you just have to go for it. And like I said, I've not had any problems cutting these out. It took me a one time to figure out what the best way to cut them out is. And after that, I was just on my way. I have bored children over here that are getting impatient with me. That are about to get in trouble. They're supposed to be sitting down, but...
We're bored, guys. We're bored.
So, we're going to kind of hurry through this. It's been one of those chaotic weeks, but I find this very relaxing. So, I had debated about whether to do this on camera. I was just going to stamp them and then spend time cutting them out when I was watching TV last night. But, you know, this is so... I really don't like fussy cutting, but this has been so relaxing for me. See? And then just very carefully grab the edges and straighten them out. That is very easy to do. And they do make very lovely little trees over here. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the other two off camera, and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, so I'm finished cutting all those pieces out. Now, with this little piece right here, we are going to be making our snow hills. And they don't have to be any certain way. I'm just going to come over here to the side and start on the edge here. I'm going to leave a little bit of border. And I'm just going to cut. I'm just turning my paper, leaving my scissors down. And I'm just pointing downwards. So I have my little snow hill. Now, I have my matching snow hill on this side, and when I turn it the other way, I get two different snow hills, two different heights. All I'm going to do is round the edges off the ends right here with my scissors. And then I'm going to determine how big I want it, and I'm just going to cut a line straight across, and then I have two snow strips. And it doesn't matter if it's straight because it's not going to be seen. Alright? And then to prep my card. Now these are cute cards. I wouldn't say these are cards for mass production unless you're super organized. What I'm going to do is just, I'm going to take my pencil here, and I'm just going to lightly go over and sort of create a sky. All I'm doing is in circular motions. I'm just doing it very softly, like this, just to create a background. Okay, so I'm about finished with this. And like I said, I'm just trying to put a little background color in it. And then we're just going to, I'm going to trim off the bottom of this a little bit. We're just going to lay our snow hills down. And if you cut them at the same length of your paper, you don't have to worry so much about cutting off the ends of them. And so I want to slip this back here. I want to slip the one that doesn't fit exactly, end exactly with the high heel, and then I want a little heel in between them, if that makes sense. Okay, so that's how I want my heels to show up. Okay, and all I'm going to do for these right here, my little snow heels, is I'm actually going to take my blue pencil just ever so slightly and just knock the edges of them just so that you'll notice them. And you will notice them after I put my stickles on them, but I just want to put just a little color. Okay? Just ever so slightly. And make sure you do it from the back side so that you don't accidentally slip and ruin the front side. Okay. Then I'm going to measure how far up I want this to be. And I'm going to take some art glitter glue. And I'm just going to glue the bottom down. I don't want to glue the whole thing down yet. Let me get them unplugged here. And I'm just going to go up just a little bit, about maybe quarter, half an inch up, and put that down. Then I'm going to take my bottom heel here, and I'm going to stick it like this. And there again, I'm just going to glue the bottom edges of it on. Okay, and this is what we have. And I'm not sure if you can see that or not. There you go. So then I'm just going to start placing my pieces that I have cut out. And the central piece I want to place first, of course, is the house. Now, I did cut the snow heel line off from the house. So I'm going to stick it, the reason why we left these unglued, is I'm going to stick this down in the middle so that the house is in the middle. So I'm just going to glue this up. And if you use wet glue, you'll have time to play around with it. There we go. So we're going to stick that in there, in the house. And then we're going to play with the trees. So, I think on this card, I lined the trees up here and put a couple here. I may put one more on that side this time. Not sure. But if you'll notice, because we have the slit in the front and the back, we can put trees in front and back and create some depth to the card. And let's see, where's the other tall one? So we can put one in the front like this, one in the back like this, and then we'll put one in the front like this. And we're not going to put them like one in front of each other. We're just going to put them slightly to the back. So I'm going to put a little glue on this. Lift that up where I had it. There we go. Uh-oh, I pulled my tree off. Not a problem. I'll just glue it down. There we go. And then we're going to glue the one in the front. And we're going to tuck it in this little space here, over to the side. And that just creates some little depth for the trees. And then I'm going to do the other two that way. I think I'm going to put a larger one over on this side this time. I'm going to put him here and put this one, yeah, I don't know. This one here. Okay. So I'm just putting a little thing of glue, putting the tree down inside the little heel there. And then I'm going to take this one and put it down in front of it. Maybe off to the side a little bit. Okay. And then I'm going to take this cute little tree and put him over here. Just kind of play around with it a little bit. And then we'll put this one right here. Oops, straighten him up. No, one man down. Okay, and that's our trees. And then I'm just going to place the little deer over here. Like I said, these are very easy to fussy cut out. And I just think they're so cute. Oops. Let me put just a touch of glue on the bottoms. So his little legs will fit down. Okay. There we go. And then the little rabbit, I just outlined him in gray that you can see them. Because, you know, for me, winter rabbits are white. And I'm just going to stick him down here in the corner like that. Okay. And so, that's what we're doing to this right now. And then we're going to take our pigment ink and our snowflake stamps and stamp those. Okay, so all I'm going to do is ink up my snowflakes with the white pigment ink. Okay, so I'm just going to stamp some random snowflakes down. And I realize you cannot see that. But when the card is done, it comes out so pretty because the snowflakes actually are, you can see them, like in reflections and stuff. So it's not like true, brilliant white snowflakes, but it is so pretty. I just like the way that it turned out. And I know this video is a little bit longer today, but this card is more involved. But I do want to show you how you can use just a stamp set and create a beautiful card without fancy tools and stuff. And later in the fall, we're going to be doing some highlighting of these basic cards. Alright, so then I'm just going to tap, 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 tap that off. I don't know if you can see that or not. And then I'm just going to fold this up. And if some of the shimmer gets on the regular stuff embossed, I'm not going to be mad about that. So, we're going to turn our heat gun on and I'm going to emboss these. Okay, so I'm not sure if you can see that or not, but they really are pretty. They're sparkling. So, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this onto the card base because, and then I'm going to add the stickles. Because stickles take a long time to dry and I just don't have, you know, time to do that and wait because I wanted to show you what the card looks like. So we're going to put this on the base. Just going to kind of eyeball this and get it in the center. Because you know me, I don't really measure a whole lot. Okay. So now we're going to add some stickles to it. Okay guys, so we're just going to put our stickles on in certain places. I love going around the snowline roof to give that little shimmer. Just a little bit on the sides here and on the roof line. Okay, and then I did put a little bit on the trees, just a tiny bit on the snow part. Alright, and then this is what I did. It was really cool. I just went along the edge of the snow hills so that you could really pick that up. And in the light, you'll be able to see where the little snow hills are. Y'all know I love my bling. I love my glitter. I love, you know, that. I missed the place. Okay. So there we are. There is the card. And I will pick that up. And then I'm not going to put a sentiment in it right now. But it's really pretty. Here's one that's already dry. You can really see the shine in it. So, thank you guys for joining me today for Card Design Thursday. I hope you enjoy this card and I hope you will try it. I think Gareth still has some of these in the store. I could be wrong, so Gareth, let me know if you don't. But these are very, very pretty and I love the way they turned out. So thanks so much for watching. If you have not subscribed to my channel yet, please do so by clicking that little subscribe button up there and make sure you double tap on the bell if you want to be notified each and every time I upload a new video. Thank you again so much and I will see you all later. Bye.